Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to wrap up wave 5 of the 6-inch Black Series line by taking a look at a figure that I originally wasn't planning on picking up. You may remember from some of my previous videos I said I was a little bit hesitant about picking this figure up, and the main reason for that was because this guy is a repaint of a previously released 6-inch figure. With the 6-inch line, I don't really want to get carried away in terms of collecting too many repaints or army building or anything like that. But I took a trip to my local Forbidden Planet recently, found this guy sitting on the pegs, and temptation got the better of me and I had to pick him up. So wrapping up this wave is of course this guy, the 6-inch Sandtrooper. Now this is a figure, as I said, that we've seen before in the 6-inch Black Series line. He was first made available as part of the first wave of the 6-inch Black Series. This time around he's been given a few minor paint applications that are somewhat different from the initial release, but overall it's a fantastic figure and definitely one that I would recommend picking up, especially if you missed out on the first release. We'll talk about this figure in a little bit more detail in just a little bit, but before we do, as always, we are going to take a look at the packaging that the Sandtrooper figure comes in. Now once again, like with Luke, Chewie and Darth Vader from the 6-inch Black Series Wave 5 that I've previously reviewed, this guy does indeed come in the brand new look 6-inch packaging. As you can see, this one has much more of a window box design to it. We've got blue highlights on the packaging in place of orange, and overall it's just a nice refresh for the line. As you can see at the top of the card, we do have the Sandtrooper image, and we also have the Star Wars Black Series logo at the bottom of the box as well. As you can see, Hasbro have indeed renumbered this particular line of 6-inch Black Series figures. So while this is Wave 5 of the Black Series line overall, this is actually Wave 1 of 2014, and that's evident by the renumbered system. On the back of the box, as you can see, we do have a description of the character, as well as a quote from the movie, and below there we do have a stylized image of that famous scene from Episode 4, A New Hope, where the Sandtroopers inquire about the stolen droids. So a very, very cool box that this one comes in, and once again, as I've said numerous times in the past, I'm a really big fan of the 6-inch Black Series packaging. You know, it's got that very adult collector feel to it, very smart, very professional, top notch. Once again as well, we do have the Disney logo on the back of the box, which will obviously be a running theme going forward with all these Star Wars products now that Disney have the rights to Star Wars. So there we go, that is the box that this figure comes in. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. As I said, this is a really cool figure. For those of you that are looking to army build the 6-inch figures, this is a great opportunity to add some diversity to your ranks. As I said at the beginning of the review, this figure has been given some minor paint differences to the initial release, and the first and most evident one of those is the shoulder pauldron. Now the initial release had an orange shoulder pauldron, whereas this one has a standard black one. Now if memory serves me correctly, orange shoulder pauldrons designate these troopers as squad leaders, whereas black designates these as just standard enlisted troopers. So this is just a regular foot soldier, he's not a commander or, as I said in the orange case, a squad leader. He's just a standard Sandtrooper, and that's really cool to have, and obviously leads us to the probably inevitable repaint with the white pauldron. We'll probably get one with the grey one, so on and so forth. I think Hasbro are definitely going to milk this sculpt. As I said, it's not a bad figure though, but I can definitely see this guy being the peg warmer of Wave 5, mainly because figures such as Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader and Chewbacca are going to be much more up there, you know, on people's priority lists. You know, those figures are absolutely stunning, and that's not to say that this figure isn't, but as I said, he's been seen before, so he's nothing really new. But as I said, for the most part, it does offer a great opportunity for those who missed the initial release to pick it up at retail once again. So we'll run through accessories with this figure, and then we'll talk about articulation. First and foremost, he does of course come with a vast arsenal of weapons. Firstly, the E11 standard issue Stormtrooper rifle, which, as I've said in numerous reviews before, is a little bit disappointing in the 6-inch scale. You may remember some of the 3 3/4-inch Stormtroopers have recently been released with E11s with folding stocks. Now this is something that I think could have been incorporated into the 6-inch weapon for sure. You know, the increased scale definitely allows more room for detail and extra features, and I think this is definitely a wasted opportunity on Hasbro's part. They could have included a folding stock on this weapon, you know, given it a bit of weathering, really gone to town on it and made it the ultimate Stormtrooper weapon. But it is what it is, and for the most part it is, you know, nicely sculpted. As you can see, he also comes with what I believe is called the T21 cannon, which is the standard issue sort of rifle for the Sandtroopers. Very, very cool design to that one. You've got some fantastic paint applications on the barrel, towards the hill, and obviously the stock and harness have been painted as well. You've even got the buckles that connect the harness to the actual weapon itself, which is a really nice bit of attention to detail there. The third and final weapon that this figure comes with is the large sort of standard Stormtrooper rifle that we've seen in episode 4, and you know, it's the rifle that Chewbacca steals from one of the Stormtroopers in the detention block scene. I forget the name of it, but it's very nicely detailed, as you can see, and it's been given a nice silver wash as well to give it a bit of weathering as well, which adds a nice bit of depth and realism to not only the weapon but the figure overall. So a really nice weapon to have included, but I will be giving this one to Chewie just to give him a bit more of an arsenal as well. So those are the weapons that are included with the Sandtrooper. Now let's talk about the sort of standard accessories, if you will. Firstly, of course, you do have the shoulder pauldron, which can be removed if you pop off the Sandtrooper's head. One interesting thing to note is the fact that with the 3 3/4 inch Sandtroopers that we've seen before, this ammo pouch has always been connected to the pauldron. That's not actually screen accurate. In the film, the pauldron is connected to the backpack, as you can see here. There's a plastic loop that sort of connects the ammo pouch to the back of the backpack, and that can be removed as well if you so wish. The pauldron has been really nicely detailed, even down to the strap that fastens the pauldron to the figure's arm, with some sculpted creases in there as well. Some fantastic detail on this one. And then if we come around the back of the figure, we do indeed have that very cool looking and very bulky Sandtrooper backpack. Now, there's a ton of cool sculpted detail on there, very accurate to the movie, although God only knows how these guys stand up, because that is a huge backpack, but it does look very cool nonetheless. One of the other minor differences between this figure and the initial release of the Sandtrooper is the fact that with this guy, the weathering that's been applied to the overall figure has been given a bit of a lighter tone. With the initial release, the weathering, the sandy weathering, was very heavy, giving the Sandtrooper a very dirty look, whereas with this one it's very light, you know, it's not too bad and not too heavy, so it definitely offers a bit of diversity in terms of overall look to the figure. In terms of articulation, this guy, as always, is packed to the brim. He has a ball jointed neck, as well as a hinge in the neck as well, so you can look up and down and side to side and all around. He has hinges at the shoulders, hinges at the elbows, dropped his weapon there, hinges at the wrists, ball joint in the torso, hinges at the hips, swivel thighs, double joints in the knee, and double joints and a pivot in the ankle. So you can really get this guy in some fantastic poses, so whether or not you want him to just patrol the sands of Tatooine, or whether you want him in a fully fledged battle, you can get this guy in any pose that you want, which is really, really cool. As I said, for those of you that missed out on the initial release, this is a perfect opportunity to pick up this fantastic figure. And once again, for those of you that want this guy, you can head down to the video description below and check out the link to staractionfigures.co.uk, where you can pick this guy up right now. So all in all, a fantastic figure. Really, really love this guy. And as I said, I'm really glad that I was able to pick him up and round out the wave. So I'll be back to give you a look at some more figures very, very soon. Got some more 6-inch figures to give you a look at in the coming months. I've also got some 3 3/4 inch figures to review for you, plus tons of Lego as well. So plenty to look forward to on the channel. And in the meantime, I want to thank you for watching this review, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, as always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.